Welcome to Superhero Pow. I'm your host nerd, Tom Frumgen. This little video comes to you courtesy of my nephew Clarence, who loves to pepper his Uncle Tom, yes, I'm an Uncle Tom, with questions about superheroes. So here is the first of what might become a small series, the most, as in which superheroes are the most, fill in the blank. As always, I like to set ground rules just to explain my madcap thinking. So I'm talking mostly about DC and Marvel superheroes and how they appear in the comics. Not about movies, video games, or podcasts, okay? Also, I'm talking about how characters are regularly written month in and month out. Not one-off amazing or humbling feats, like Superman pushing a planet back through time, or the Silver Surfer getting knocked out by a falling brick. So, generally accepted views of the character. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk. The strongest superhero, as in physical strength, lifting up a box with your own hands. While some might think Superman is the odds-on favorite, it really goes to the Hulk. Because while out of the box, Superman is stronger than the Hulk, it's often stated that the Hulk's greatest superpower is to get stronger. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets. Now I'm sure one might argue, what the heck does that even mean? To which I would argue back, he's a comic book superhero for crying out loud. Famously in the first Marvel superheroes Secret Wars, Mr. Fantastic insulted the Hulk as he was holding up a mountain range. Later, he explained he was trying to make sure the Hulk stayed pissed off and didn't drop the mountain range on everyone. And in the crossover Superman-Spider-Man, pre-Crisis Superman fought the Hulk. Superman decided to let the Hulk punch himself out, as Superman was clearly more powerful. But that strategy didn't work out, as Superman sensed the Hulk getting stronger and stronger, and he started to doubt his ability to stand up to the Hulk. So I say to you, the Hulk is the strongest. The smartest superhero. Now this can be spun many different ways, with how much do you know, how inventive are you, and how wise are you. Several characters come to mind, like Batman, Iron Man, and Mr. Terrific, but it really comes down to two characters, Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four and Brainiac 5 of the Legion of Superheroes. Now if we're talking purely knowledge, as in how much do you know, then it goes to Brainiac 5. As he's from the 31st century, and it's relatively impossible for someone from the 21st century to know more. If we're talking inventiveness, well then it goes to Mr. Fantastic, as he's a guy in the 21st century creating time machines, spaceships, and unstable molecules. Brainiac 5 has done little aside from match Mr. Fantastic's achievements. If you're talking wisdom, well, they both kind of suck in that department, as both of them constantly forget the golden rule.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they didn't stop to think if they should.
Overall, though, I give the edge to Mr. Fantastic, because his AI, Herbie, was never as evil as Brainiac 5's Computo. He killed the triplet girl for crying out loud. Lastly, I believe if Mr. Fantastic was from the 31st century as well, he clearly would be smarter than Brainiac 5. So, Mr. Fantastic is the smartest. The fastest superhero. While there have been dozens of super speed heroes over the years, the Whizzer, Johnny Quick, Quicksilver, and Quicksilver, the title has always and will always belong to the Flash. And for all intended purposes, I'm talking about Barry Allen. He's outrun Superman, even though some say Superman would be faster if he flew. He can shift his molecules so he can run through walls, not just up them. And in the JLA Wildcats crossover, he kept pace with Void, a character who can teleport. So before her whole body could materialize somewhere else away from the Flash, he could run over to her. That's pretty damn fast. And lest we forget, in Quasar number 17, an Elder of the Universe, the Runner, held a race on the moon with every Marvel speedster to see who's the fastest. With the race already on the way, Barry Allen basically shows up as an amnesic blonde guy and smokes the whole field, winning the race. Heck, his moniker is the fastest man alive. He outraced Death, the Black Racer, in Final Crisis. So yeah, the Flash is the fastest. The most powerful superhero. This one too is a fairly easy one, as we're talking overall powers, not just strength. Now, some people might say the century, the man with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, supposedly, or the Silver Surfer with his patented power cosmic. Then there's Thor, a god. Dr. Manhattan, the most powerful of all science-based heroes. On the magic side, there's Dr. Strange, Dr. Fate, Johnny Thunder's genie, Thunderbolt, and least we forget the star system ending powers of the Phoenix. Do we make a distinction between her and Dark Phoenix? But the obvious answer is the Spectre. Because of all those heroes, he's the only one given his powers directly from, well, God. And what are those powers? The power of God. You see, the Spectre, Police Detective Jim Corrigan, was killed in the line of duty. When his spirit reached the gates of heaven, he voiced his displeasure of how God runs his universe. And God basically said, fine, take all my powers and see if you can do better. So the only real limitation to the Spectre, which is why he isn't God himself, is that he still has the mortal mind of Jim Corrigan, which means he still sucks at living like the rest of us. In more recent times, they've refashioned him into God's avenging force on Earth. But that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why would God need that? Moreover, Corrigan needs to accept the unfathomable wisdom of the creator of the universe, let go of the material world, and be at peace in the afterlife. But either way, the Spectre is the most powerful. Lastly, the most dexterous superhero. When you really get into this one, it's very highly debatable, as we're talking about the most control over one's own body to perform any feat within the limits of that body. From here, we can go to Batman, Daredevil, or Captain America. But let's be honest, they're amateurs. Pushing further, we got the Beast, Black Panther, or the Creeper. You could even mention speedsters again, but are they really dexterous just because they can move around within a fraction of a second? Getting down to brass tacks, we got Longshot, a genetically engineered guy built for movement. He's so smooth and quick, he can give Spider-Man a run for his money. Oh, and there it is. Spider-Man, a guy who single-handedly escaped from the X-Men back in the original Secret Wars. Anyone who's anyone in the area of dexterity has to compare him or herself to Spider-Man. But so far, there have been many challengers and no takers. Because here's the thing about Spider-Man. Not only is he ridiculously dexterous, not only does he have spider sense, the ability to feel tiny vibrations in the air to give him an insane, non-super speed reaction time, but he does it all, more often than not, while not taking any of it seriously. This guy is basically goofing off all the time and is still frickin' amazing. Hence the name. Which, by the way, is his only flaw. Spider-Man only really screws up because he's never really giving it his A-game. But imagine if he did. So, Spider-Man is the most dexterous. Well, there you go. Feel free to fight me in the comments below, because you know, I'd do it for you. It's really half the fun of being a superhero fan, arguing about what's what. Am I right? Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe and share, because that's what makes our time together so meaningful. At least that's what YouTube says.